Hey, what's up everyone? Danny Lighten back with another video. Today we are checking out the Radiolink D460. This is a really weird little flying wing airplane. Now, what makes this plane really weird and unique is you got your basically two ailerons. So this acts as your ailerons and your elevators, and this thing has no rudder whatsoever. So it's definitely a very unique, very interesting airplane as far as the way it flies. Now, it is a little bit challenging. I never realized how much I relied on my rudder to make turns until I tried to fly this. So once I got this up in the air, I was like, whoa, what the heck? Once you get the hang of flying it, it's actually a really cool little airplane. One thing that's really nice is this little top comes off here. The battery goes underneath here so it can't fall out. And that just kind of holds all of your electronics and your battery and everything into place with some magnets. So that's pretty sweet. The ESC, like everything's pretty much just jammed inside of there and it's not out in the open. If you look at the bottom of the airplane, you'll see both servos. You'll see your two control rods, and that's really about all there is to it. So you have two servos pretty much controlling the entire airplane in flight. You'll see a couple of little skid plates right here, so you can belly land this thing and not have to worry about like destroying your servos or your control rods. Another thing to mention is the tail fin. It's just held on by a magnet, so that does come off. So if you need to store it, you can pop this off, and now you got a pretty much completely flat aircraft, which is a lot easier to store. So this does have a lot of really nice features. It's got a built-in gyro inside, so this thing does have some stabilization. Basically, you got the beginner's mode, you've got the stabilization mode, and then you can turn the gyro off. Now, I have flown this on a day that was probably way too windy, and I've flown it on a very calm day, and it's just a different, weird, interesting, really cool little airplane. I enjoy flying it. If you can get this out there on a day where there's pretty much no wind, it just flies so nice and so smooth, and it's just easy going. You can get easily 15 to 20 minutes of flight time out of this. I think the box said about 30 minutes, but I think it just depends on how much throttle you're giving. If you're flying it around really slow and easily, you might get 20 or 30 minutes out of it. If you're getting on it, if you're flying on a windy day where you need to give it some more throttle, you're probably going to get maybe about 15 minutes of flight time. And so I would say I average about 15 minutes of flight time on this thing. Let's go pull up some flight video and let you guys see this in action, and then we'll be back for a little more commentary and my final thoughts or something along the lines of that. So yeah, let's pull up the flight video. All right, so there it is, guys and girls. That is the Radiolink A460 little flying wing airplane. Now, I must say I really do enjoy flying and I have a lot of fun with it. Like I said, it is a little bit different. It takes me a minute to get used to it every time I take it out and fly it because I'm just used to having a rudder. Making turns without a rudder definitely takes a minute to get used to. But once you get the hang of it, it is super fun to fly. It's smooth. If you notice, like when you start going kind of slow, you can see it starting to wobble. So you can pretty much get it on the point where it's just ready to stall, give it a little teeny bit of throttle, and it'll still fly real nice and slow. Now, of course, if you're about to stall and you need to make a turn, you definitely need to give it a little more throttle or it's not going to pull through that turn. It might just kind of fall. So you definitely need to make sure you got enough airspeed to make your turns, but you can fly it extremely slow. You can take it up really high, dive down, and just kind of glide in. It's a really cool little airplane. Now, as far as like durability goes, I will say it's made out of some sort of like it's a styrofoam that's not super flexible. Now, I have crashed this twice so far. The first time it came straight down, it hit really hard. I think I lost orientation or the sun blinded me or something. It actually hit really hard and nothing broke. I got a couple of I think there's like a couple of little nicks. I don't know if you can see it like right up here in the corner, like right where my fingertip is here. And I mean, that's about the worst that happened to it after 2 bad crashes. So it seems like it's pretty durable. I mean, if you were repeatedly just bashing this thing into the ground over and over and over, that may be a different story. I mean, I'm one of those people that usually when I do crash, it's not that bad, right? I don't crash airplanes very often. And when I do, most of the time, it's usually a pretty light crash. But I did have one pretty bad crash where I just completely lost orientation. Couldn't tell where the plane was going, and then it just slammed into the ground at full speed and nothing broke. So that is good. So if you're looking for something that's just a little bit different, a little bit unique, and maybe a little bit challenging to fly, you kind of got to retrain yourself on how to fly this thing due to not having a rudder. Making turns with just the one stick is a little bit weird, but you know, after a few minutes, you do get used to it. You just really got to remind yourself when you're flying that, hey, I don't have a rudder because, well, most of us really rely on that rudder to turn. But once you get used to it, it's very fun. It's a really cool little airplane, and I actually do like it a lot. Now, Radiolink did send me this airplane for free, but I get to say whatever I want about it. So these are my thoughts, my opinions. You got to see it in the air. It's just a cool little plane. I mean, for around $100 or so to get this thing, you know, heck, you can't freaking beat it. I think the plug and play version of this is right around $100. All you got to do is add a receiver and a radio and you're good to go. I mean, when I pulled this one out of the box, I put my receiver on there, I set it up on the radio and took it out for a flight, and everything went the way you would expect it to on this one. So that's pretty much the deal. Very cool little airplane. I think if you're interested in like a flying wing type of thing without a rudder, this is definitely something to look at. Again, thank you to Radiolink for sending this over for review. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap this one up. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. I'll post some links down there in the video's description where you can get this plane. Catch you guys later. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.